The latest NATO summit wrapped up with national leaders representing the 32 NATO members, officially endorsing a proposal to raise defense and related spending to 5% of gross domestic product by 2035, something the U.S. President Donald Trump has for long demanded. Pledges were made to spend 3.5% of GDP on core defense such as troops and weapons, and 1.5% on broader defense-related measures such as cybersecurity, protecting pipelines, and adapting roads and bridges to handle heavy military vehicles. Trump has been criticizing the Europeans for not pulling their weight within NATO and has threatened to leave the transatlantic alliance if changes were not made in European financial contributions. This huge increase, however, it's extremely unlikely to be met. Most European nations and Canada were struggling to meet the 2% target on hard defense previously. Meeting the goal of 3.5% of GDP will force European governments to make some really tough and painful economic and financial choices, which are likely to have a significant negative impact on Social Security, pensions, education, and healthcare spending, and thereby result in growing popular unrest. Analysts have expressed skepticism that the Europeans will meet their pledges. They have saddled themselves with pledges that, with the notable exception of Germany, have never recovered from the global economic crash of 2008. It seems the Europeans are agreeing to pledges and targets they do not plan to ever fulfill, which is really kicking the problem further up the road. According to a high-impact exposé by Foreign Affairs, U.S. intelligence agencies have identified classified indicators suggesting Pakistan is quietly accelerating its long-range missile program with clandestine assistance from China that would enable it to field an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of delivering a nuclear warhead over 6,000 miles. Such a capability would not only bring the U.S. mainland within Pakistani missile range for the first time in history, but it would also transform Pakistan's nuclear doctrine from one of regional deterrence vis-a-vis India to a global force projection posture, possibly aimed at the U.S. Historically, Pakistan justified its nuclear weapons program as a necessity to counterbalance India's conventional military superiority, particularly after New Delhi's nuclear tests in 1974 and 1998. To that end, Islamabad developed a robust suite of short and medium-range ballistic missiles under programs such as Hatf, Shaheen, and Gauri, most of which are designed to deliver tactical or strategic nuclear warheads across Indian territory. But the leap to intercontinental strike capability would represent a fundamental departure from this deterrence logic. Developing intercontinental capabilities is a huge undertaking. The program consists of multiple stages, that is, 2 or 3 missiles stacked upon each other. Intercontinental ballistic missiles are reliant upon the different stages all working. From a cost standpoint, the development of an intercontinental ballistic missile system is a massive undertaking. Estimates suggest that a full-scale ICBM program, including warhead miniaturization, guidance systems, mobile launchers, and survivability infrastructure, could cost upwards of $3 billion. Money Pakistan doesn't really have to spare. Russian forces have seized control of a valuable lithium deposit in the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine, depriving the country of a critical asset that could have helped support a new economic partnership with the United States. The deposit, just outside the Shevchenko village in western Donetsk, was captured in recent days, according to battlefield maps from independent groups tracking Russian advances. Moscow's troops seized it as part of their summer offensive, which has achieved steady gains across Donetsk. Though relatively small, it covers only 100 acres. The deposit was seen by industry analysts as one of Ukraine's most valuable because of its rich concentration of lithium, a mineral essential for manufacturing advanced technologies, such as electric batteries. The United States has designated lithium as critical to its economy and national security. The Trump administration has aimed to tap into Ukraine's vast lithium reserves, some of Europe's largest, through a recently signed landmark agreement granting it front-row access to the country's mineral wealth. But the capture of the deposit highlights a core challenge to the deal. The more territory Russian forces seize in Ukraine, the fewer resources Kyiv can offer to Washington.